so that's really good. Pam, did you want to talk a little bit about library?
Nothing like getting put on the spot.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Well, you know, as many of you know, and thank you very much for the time that you guys have spent in front of the dais, which has been a pretty contentious place to be as of late. As you know, we had the roof collapse in Palmer on the public library. With that came a lot of consternation about how big they wanted the library. We did choose to go out to the people for a $10 million bond. We wanted to hear what the people had to say about that because that's a choice that goes to vote, and we wanted to hear what the people had to say about that. Well, as you know, a lot of people in Palmer don't come out to vote, but the left and the Friends of the Library were able to turn out their constituents and the people who are pro-library in order to get that passed. Now, that doesn't mean a bond does not mean you have to spend $10 million. It's not a commitment. I mean, people have got a real misguided, you know, it's like their wires are crossed when they heard this $10 million bond. We don't even know what the insurance is going to pay out yet. We did get $5 million from the state, thank goodness, from Representative Delana Johnson. But that being said, it doesn't mean that we should go and spend $20 million on a library, which we know will end up costing more than that. You know how that is. What the big consternation is right now in my heart is that, look, I've got an MBA. I'm a businesswoman. I cannot rationalize in my mind where that money is going to come from other than the coffers of the people's money. That's their taxes. And I just cannot. I want our city to have a beautiful library. I do. I want us to have a place where everybody can go and, you know, read their books and have a beautiful library. I do believe in that. I don't always believe what's in the library, but that's a separate story. The issue for me personally is that I'm a fiscal conservative. I can't do it, folks. I cannot see it. I can't see past it. I've run the numbers every which way to Sunday, and it's hard for me to fathom where that money is going to come from for this library. That being said, Councilman Tudor and I brought forward a ask to go back to the architect to look at how we can keep that under 10 million, because that's a reasonable expectation. I'm still a little worried about, you know, where that's going to come from. But our past shows with people who I have very deep respect for, you know, our old city attorney, Jack Snodgrass, even came and talked to us about his concerns and how, you know, a previous bond had, you know, nearly, you know, it was catastrophic financially for the city. So right now I understand where the people want what they want and what they desire. I get it. But until we have people, and I know that we have a silent majority, I get that because we get all the emails. We get the phone calls, we get the texts, we get the IMs, we get it all. And we're getting it from every corner. Well, maybe you guys should look at a different place. Maybe you guys should just burn the library down. You know, I mean, we get it from all directions, right? So what I would say is that they are mobilizing, and we understand that they're mobilizing, and that that's fine. That's your right to do so. And I actually respect that public process. But if we have people who are not going to show up and talk about their concerns over the library, and they're just going to send us emails, that weighs, it has a lot of weight, and it causes a lot of belief or kind of optics that, no, this is the favored opinion, that we need to spend the people's money and we need to go with the $20 million library. So I guess the ask is that if it is in your heart to do so, come and talk before the dais and have your say. If you've ever used the library, come and talk to us. We need to hear from you. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm heavily focused on that. I understand that we have issues with books. I understand that we have other issues. But in Palmer, we've got infrastructure problems. I mean, I'm having a hard time thinking about how we're going to pay for those infrastructure problems, and yet, the money for a library is a pretty big leap. So, again, my ask is that if it is on your heart, to please come and talk to us. We want us to have a very beautiful library, but is it really all that bad if we're asking to be very responsible with the people's money? I mean, think about that. Really think about that. And then come before us and talk to us. We need to hear from you. That's my update, Edna.
You did excellent, as always.